Welcome to Talkin Trash, and today we're at the Becker County Solid Waste Campus and in the demolition site, and I'm with Steve Skoog, the land use director.
Hey Sandy.
Hey Steve, how are you doing? So can you explain where we're at and what they're doing here?
Sure. We're at the Becker County Demolition Landfill. It's a state permitted site where we can bury building construction materials that come from within the community. By community, I'm meaning throughout Becker County. And so, you know, we need a place where all this stuff can go. We just don't have it. People can't burn it. You can't throw it into regular trash. So we've had an engineering firm come in and design a demolition landfill. And we've got maybe a quarter of it full right now, and we're building a new cell. And a cell will typically last anywhere from 2 to 5 years to fill it up. And so if you look behind us, you can see the area, dozers working. What they're doing now is they're clearing off topsoil, so we separate out the different types of materials that they're taking out, and I'll explain to what we're going to do with them after they stockpile in different areas. So if you look to the south, you can see there's a well there. That's actually a monitoring well, so the county has to draw samples of groundwater three times a year, and they monitor it for different types of chemicals just to ensure that we're not having contamination going down from the demolition going down into the groundwater. The lighter color soil that you see is clay, which is a good thing because the base of this demolition landfill, we want to have a real tight soil so that chemicals cannot leach down through there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be opening all this up. They've took out the trees, the topsoil. Now they're going to start digging down, and they're going to be digging probably 12 to 15 feet down. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. But we're going to go down to the tree line eventually. Well, those will come out over time as well. And then once the state allows us to start placing waste in there, then once the cell that we're on right now, as you can see, this gets filled up, and then we're going to put a couple feet of clay on top of that and some topsoil on top of that to get a good grass cover. What it'll do is it'll help limit the amount of water that we have coming down into this waste so that you don't have chemicals or different things leaching through that down into the groundwater.
Wow. So they're getting the black dirt over here, and is this space probably more than one cell, or they're getting ready?
Sure, that's a good question. This is actually multiple cells, and the way that this works is that over time we'll be filling this in slices, and every month or periodically what we'll do is we'll take this clay, the excess clay that's stockpiled, and we'll cap that. And the reason you do that is to mitigate the transfer of chemicals through, but then also if you have a fire, you'll be able to contain it. And then on top of that, then you'll put black dirt.
Okay. So like this particular hole, when they start to fill it, do they just keep filling it, or is it done in layers, or? So
that's a good question. So the design of this will be that when they get done digging it, we'll come off the face of this, we'll have one layer of clay, and then they'll put a bunch more demolition, another layer, and then over time when we get about halfway across, we'll have a slope going down because we have to allow a channel for water to drain to the south. The base of this cell is designed so that any water can drain through the waste to the south, and we can catch it at a catch basin on the far end eventually. And then as this one fills up, then they'll dig a new cell, and we'll just progress along like that.
Okay.
And eventually over time we'll come back over the top with more cells.
Yeah. But you really have to be forward thinking to do this. You have to plan ahead, basically.
It does. This cell that we're working on right now, it will last anywhere from 3 to 6 years, depending on the amount of volume coming in and what the economy does.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So about another 3 years, we'll start the permitting process to talk about considering building another cell so that we have another cell ready to start filling when this one is full.
Okay. So you mentioned about sand, so you're finding sand here, you're finding black dirt. I see him pushing some big boulders around.
Sure. So if we find any sand, we'll have to excavate that out, put clay in it and pack it down to create a solid base. And
okay. So there's an engineering marvel here. It's a very well thought out process, and so just be assured that it's done so that our environment is safe, so the water is safe around us. And if you have any questions, give our office a call, 218-846-7310. Thanks for joining us.